Brace yourself for a journey into the unknown, where the truth is often stranger than fiction, and reality is weird as fuck. Big explosions, heroic soldiers, the US flag waving triumphantly in the wind. From Top Gun to Transformers, Hollywood has always had a thing for the military. But what if I told you it wasn't just admiration? What if the relationship between the Pentagon and Tinseltown ran much deeper, much more coordinated and much more controlled than most people realize? Scripts rewritten, films censored, careers made or broken based on government approval. Welcome to the shadowy alliance between Hollywood and the military-industrial complex. In 1986, Top Gun didn't just make Tom Cruise a superstar, it made naval aviation the coolest job on the planet. The US Navy saw a 500% increase in recruitment inquiries after the film's release. But here's the thing, Top Gun wasn't just a movie. It was, in part, a carefully crafted recruitment tool, developed with direct input from the Pentagon. For decades, the Department of Defense has had an entertainment liaison office, a division that works directly with filmmakers to assist with military-themed projects. On the surface, this sounds like a simple collaboration. After all, if a film needs aircraft carriers and fighter jets, they have to work with the military, right? But here's the catch. The Pentagon doesn't just lend out its toys, it demands script approval. If Hollywood wants access to military resources, the government gets a say in how the story is told. And that means certain themes, certain criticisms, and certain uncomfortable truths get erased before they ever hit the screen. Ever wonder why Hollywood war movies rarely show US military failures? Or why films about Vietnam, Iraq, or Afghanistan tend to portray American soldiers as noble, tortured heroes, even in controversial wars? That's because scripts that don't align with the Pentagon's preferred narrative don't get military support. And for films that do, well, let's just say the perks are worth the edits. These aren't just war films. The military has worked on everything from Iron Man to The Fast and the Furious. If it makes the military look good, the government is more than happy to help. But what happens if you don't play ball? Take Independence Day. The military was initially on board with the project, until the filmmakers refused to remove references to Area 51. Suddenly, all support was pulled. The film went ahead anyway, but it's a rare example of Hollywood pushing back. But it's not just the military. The CIA has had its hands in Hollywood for decades. Declassified documents confirm that the agency has worked on films and TV shows to shape public perception of espionage, foreign policy, and covert operations. In Argo, the CIA is portrayed as the brilliant mastermind behind a daring rescue mission in Iran. What most people don't know, the real-life operation was largely handled by Canada. But since the CIA consulted on the film, guess who got the starring role? And then there's Zero Dark 30, the film that dramatized the hunt for Osama bin Laden. The CIA provided consultation on the film, and many believe it was used to shape public perception of torture, making it seem like a necessary evil in the war on terror. But here's where it gets even murkier. Sometimes it's not just about boosting the government's image. Sometimes it's about burying stories entirely. There have been films that dared to question the official narrative, and they never saw the light of day. American journalist Gary Webb uncovered the CIA's involvement in drug trafficking in the 1980s. His story was eventually told in Kill the Messenger, 2014, but only after years of resistance and the tragic suicide of Webb himself. And what about The Report? This film exposed CIA torture programs, but was delayed, nearly buried, and faced intense pushback from intelligence insiders before finally getting a limited release. Meanwhile, films that toe the government line? Those get big budgets, military support, and prime distribution. But this isn't just about war movies. This is about the broader influence Hollywood has over our perception of reality. The movies we watch, the heroes we idolize, the villains we fear, it's all carefully curated. And the influence doesn't stop at the big screen. With streaming giants taking over, The lines between entertainment, propaganda, and corporate interest are blurrier than ever. Who funds these shows? Who approves these scripts? And what narratives are being shaped behind the scenes? So, what's the truth? Is Hollywood just entertainment? Or is it an extension of the military-industrial complex? Are we watching organic stories, or are we being subtly shaped, conditioned to see the world the way those in power want us to see it? And if that's the case, what stories have we never been allowed to see? Hollywood and the military, an alliance built on spectacle, influence, and carefully controlled messaging. One thing's for sure. When it comes to the silver screen, the real story might not be the one you're being told. Staged narratives, government-approved scripts, or just plain weird as fuck,